Christmas is literally next week, and if you're like me, you're definitely slacking on your Christmas shopping and you still need to get that done. Or if you have a car guy in your family, you might not know what to get them, but if you follow my video here, I'm gonna get you guys hooked up on what to get your car guy in your family. Now, tools are a very important thing to get because to work on a car, you need tools, and that's important. So we're gonna talk about the top like 4 tools to get for that car guy in your family. That's definitely gonna make his Christmas, and it's gonna make you have a good Christmas because that person's gonna be happy, and it's gonna be a great time. What is going on, guys? Before we start talking about the tools to get, if you guys could please just drop a subscribe, that would be super dope. We're about to hit like 900. Well, we're getting there. We're not really about to hit it, but we're getting close to 900. I really want to hit 1,000 early 2020, and then I want to do a giveaway doing that. So today we're going to talk about the best tools to get a car person for Christmas or any holiday, even maybe a birthday or something, because tools are very important, especially when working on your car, because you always need them. I don't know if there's anything you can really do to a car without tools, so this is going to be a perfect gift guide for you guys. Now, one of the best tools I think, and my personal favorite tool that I use, is this thing right behind me, and it is an impact wrench. Now, these are super important because you can do anything with it. So if you have a bolt or something that's stuck or seized, this thing just, it gets it off. So you press your button, it gets the job done. Now, why is one of these important? Because if you have a bolt that's very seized or it's a bolt that's hard to get off, this will impact it off, and that's super dope. You can get these in a bunch of different sizes and strengths, and how I got this one was a really interesting story, actually. So here I was, me and my friend, just driving to Walmart for, I don't really remember what we were getting, but it was dark out and we were just driving down the road and I see a little red box thing and I was like, oh, I can clear that. I didn't clear it and I just kind of ran over this box and I heard scraping. I'm like, well, Dan, this thing is stuck underneath my car now and I have to go out of the car and I gotta go grab it out. So I reached under the car, I grab it out, I'm like, what the frick is this thing? Opened it up, it's an impact wrench. I looked it up and mine just happens to be like a $500 model, but I've used this tool, I think, in every install I've done on my car so far. I've gotten my wheels off with it, I've gotten support braces off with it, I did my entire coilover system with it. Everything that I've done to my car so far, I've used an impact wrench. And I think that's why that's probably one of the most important tools you could get if you're doing anything with cars. Now, some people might just like to ratchet away at things for some reason, but personally, I like using an impact wrench because it makes everything go so fast. If you ever just use like a regular lug tool to get off your tires, it takes like 2 minutes per lug. With this thing, you just go, and it's off. So an impact wrench is definitely number 1 on the list, and you can get them for relatively cheap if you kind of know what you're looking for. This one's more of an industrial one, so it has more torque to it, but you can get them for relatively cheap. Number 2 has to be a ratchet set. Again, with the impact wrench, sometimes you can't really get in the crevices where you're trying to go because there's not that much space. Now, a ratchet will do the same job, you just gotta use some manpower. Now, they have ratchets that are little, and then they have bigger ones, and they all have different sizes. But most of the time, if you get a standard ratchet kit, it comes with pretty much everything you need. Like this one I have, it uses the smaller ratchet right here, but it gets the job done and it's easy to get into small spaces, and it has all the sizes that I've ever really needed. Ratchet sets are always important, and I don't think it's possible to have too many ratchets. Now, as I said before, they have different sizes. So like this one uses a smaller bit, and this one will use a lot bigger bit. Getting various sizes is always important because people tend to lose ratchets regardless. So I think if you get anybody a ratchet set for their car, they're gonna be happy with it, even if they already have it, because that gives them more flexibility to take it places, and if they lose one, it's not a big deal because they have backups now. I only have the ones that I have here, and luckily I haven't lost any because I'm kind of responsible with my tools, but a ratchet set is always important to have. The really cool thing about having an impact wrench too is that it uses the same ratchets that you can put on any of those handheld tools as well. So if you're buying, ratchet attachments and different sizes of stuff, you can use it between tools, which is super helpful. Now, if you've ever gotten stuck on the side of the road, or you're a car guy and you need to jack your car up, it's really important to actually have a good jack. Now, the one that comes with your car is good for emergencies, but other than that, it sucks because it really doesn't, it's not fast at all. And it takes a while to screw up the thing, it just takes forever. Now, getting a good jack is very, very important, especially for a car guy. Now you go to stores and you'll see them for a lot of money. But if you order them online, you can get a pretty decent one for cheap. The one I have, I think I got it for $50 on Amazon, and I haven't had any issues with it. It might have a small leak, so when you're jacking it up, make sure you're using jack stands because it can slowly come down. Mine does slowly come down sometimes, but as long as you're safe and using jack stands, you should be totally fine with it. Now, this one right here isn't the biggest one in the world. It's actually really small, but having it small, it kind of works better because it's more compact. And if you're like me and you can't work in your garage because your parents use it for storage, it's not hard to wheel it out there and carry it because it's not too heavy. I couldn't tell you one person that wouldn't be happy with that. If you're into cars at all, or even if you have like a trunk that you can keep that in and you ever get a flat tire or anything, it just makes it so much easier. I've used this again all the time, and I've had it for probably a year and a half now, and that's probably one of the best tools I've ever purchased for the car. And also, maybe I'll just include this with the jack, is jack stands. Because if you're using one of these, it's important to use jack stands as well. And if you have to put your car up all the way up to get under it, jack stands are super important. And a lot of times with a jack like this, you can get a combo and it'll come with jack stands as well. Jack stands come in a bunch of different shapes and sizes. And for me, I prefer the smaller ones because they are still adjustable, but they're small and it's easy to get under your car. Now, some of them have grooves cut out for the frame rails, and personally, I don't like those ones because, well, I have side skirts and stuff, and a lot of times the little thing on there is a little bit wide. You can see this one, it's flat, it's adjustable, and it's just really, really easy to work with and carry around. Now, this isn't something you have to keep in your car or anything, but it's good to have laying around your garage or in your house, just in case you ever have to lift up your car. Now, if you're rotating your tires yourself or you're doing an oil change yourself, it's important because you have to jack up the car regardless. Put these under there for a sense of safety, or you can just put them under there and take the jack back out and just make everything really easy to work with. And then last but not least, this is gonna fall under the ratchets and impact wrench thing again. Wrenches are a lifesaver. And the same thing with the ratchets. They come in all different shapes, sizes, lengths, they do different things, but they're very important to have because if you can't get your impact wrench in there and you're not strong enough to do something with your ratchet, it's good to have a little bit extra strength of a wrench, and a wrench is even smaller than a ratchet to get into tighter spots. I got a drawer full of wrenches. So wrenches, they come in all different shapes and sizes. Sometimes they got different bends to do different things and to get into different spots. 90% of these tools that I showed to you guys today, you can get for very cheap online. And cheap tools aren't always the worst thing. A lot of times, yeah, you'll see, you can get a wrench set for like $400 and they have lifetime warranties and they won't break. But I've never broken a wrench, and if you use a wrench properly or use your tools properly, chances are they won't fail on you. If you're reading reviews and looking at tools, chances are you'll find something that's completely perfect for what you think they'll be looking for. And I think tools are always a good gift because people are either losing them or they break them or they misplace them or any of that stuff. And just replacing tools, for me, I bought all my tools and it gets expensive, really expensive. So gifting tools is always a smart decision. There's always a time that you're gonna be working on a car and you're looking around, you're like, man, I wish I had new wrenches. Man, I wish I had a new ratchet set. Or if you wanna be easy and maybe a little bit lazy, an impact wrench is all time my favorite tool that I've ever had. I'm happy I didn't have to buy it because they can get expensive, especially mine that I have is an expensive one, but it is by far the best tool that I have. If you look at any of my videos, except for I think my side marker install, I've used my impact wrench or I've used some sort of ratchet or wrench. All the tools that I've showed you, I've used in most of my videos because it makes everything easier. And if you want to work on your car, you need tools regardless. Now, of personal experience, I've got a bunch of wrenches. I've got my ratchet set, and if I got more of those things, I wouldn't be upset about it because it's always good to have at least two the same size of most things. Like with wrenches, sometimes you need to use two to get leverage on something and it helps break bolts easier, especially if you can't get in there with an impact wrench. And like doing my exhaust, there's no way you could get a ratchet in there and there was no way you could get an impact wrench in there. So wrenches are perfect, and there was two bolts on there, so you had to use two, and squeezing two longer wrenches together for that leverage makes everything way easier. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys are able to use it to find those perfect tools and gifts for the car person in your family. I might have said car guy a few times. Sorry for being like sexist, or if that is sexist. I'm a car guy, so I'm relating. But for that car person in your family, make sure you guys check out these 5 tools that I showed you guys today, because it's gonna make a difference. It's definitely gonna make them happy, and it's definitely gonna make them appreciate you even more than they already appreciate you. So if you guys could do me a favor, big favor, comment, like, and subscribe, and keep checking out my videos. We got a lot more coming and a lot more in the works. That would be super, super dope. I'm gonna leave you guys off here. So as I said, just do those 3 things. That'd be awesome. Keep doing you. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.